Hey, what's up guys? My name is Kyle Warner, and today we're going to talk about braking, and April is going to hit her first rock roll. Braking is one of the most important things to understand on a mountain bike, but one of the easiest things to overlook. Today I'm going to go over brake theory with you guys, talk about braking into a corner, how we modulate traction. We're going to go over a drill that I like to do to help kind of practice this, and then April's going to come out here and I'm going to see if we can coach her through doing her first big rock roll. So let's head over and do some practice, and then we'll come back out here in a minute. Something that we just wanted to say before we kind of get into this is in North America, we run the rear brake on the right-hand side. In a lot of other countries, they'll run the rear brake on the left-hand side. But just so you guys know, anytime we're talking about this, our rear brake is on the right-hand side and our front brake is on the left-hand side. All right, so now that she's on the stand, let's go through and show you guys what like a neutral braking position looks like. And so just like in the riding position video, when you're in a braking position, your heels are down a little bit so that you have good force going against the pedals. You're gonna have your head up, squat back a little bit, and then that'll kind of be a position that you're in here. So she has a really nice strong line through her joints on her arms. The reason that we want to have her joints stacked is because if she is braking and her force is going forward, when she's in this position, if I push, she can resist. And now raise your heels and bend your arms a little bit. And now she's in this position and she hits the brakes hard and I pull. See, it's a lot harder to resist there versus arms extended, heels drop, in a good neutral position. And now I can pull as hard as I want on her and she's in a strong position. Yeah. I see a lot of people that are scared of using the front brake because they think they're gonna go over the bars. And to be honest, that is the case sometimes if you're not in a good braking position. But if you're in that good position, when she brakes on the front, she's not gonna go over the bars because she's able to brace herself and her weight's gonna be very consistent. It doesn't have that weight shift, which makes the front tire grab more. So that's the riding position. If you want to know more about that, we did do the riding position video, so check that out, but this is kind of just a quick refresher.
On the left, you can see that my heels are flatter and I'm farther forward on the bike. When I hit the brakes, it causes my arms to buckle and my weight to shift forward, which would make me go over the bars in a rough section. On the right, you can see that my heels are dropped, my arms are stacked, and I'm a little bit further back on the bike over the rear axle. This gives me a really strong position and extra traction. It decreases the risk of me going over the bars.
The next thing we're going to talk about is kind of brake theory. And what I mean by that is understanding how braking works in relation to traction. So a lot of times you'll hear people say, brake before a corner. And you kind of are like, okay, that sounds cool, but why? And the reason why is you want to think about braking as a scale. You have 100% traction or you have 100% braking. Anytime you hit the brakes, if you're 50% on the brakes, you get 50% traction. If you're 100% on the brakes and you're skidding, you have 0% traction. So if you're in a corner, the goal is to have as much traction as possible, especially on the front tire. And so that's why they say brake before a corner, let off the brakes, and you'll have the most grip going through the corner. As you're going around a corner, if you tap the front brake, you'll lose traction and it'll want to wash out. If you tap the rear brake when you're going around a corner and you lose traction, it's a lot easier to save. It's a little bit unrealistic in the real world to always be 100% off the brakes through a corner, but if you are gonna brake in a corner, what I like to say is I like to do equal braking coming in a straight line, and then as I start to lean, I'll kind of let off the front brake and I'll modulate the rear. And we'll kind of talk about modulation and give you some examples in a minute too, but that's my general rule of thumb. Equal braking coming into something in a straight line, and then as you're going around a corner, just kind of let off the front, let the front wheel roll and get maximum traction.
In this example, you can see that I'm using both brakes equally as I come into the corner. Then as I begin to lean and my tire gets at more of an aggressive angle, I let off the front brake and let the bike roll through the corner.
Modulation, when you hear that term, or feathering the brake, you'll kind of hear those interchanged. Modulation or feathering, that is when you do a light squeeze on your brake lever, and instead of like grabbing it hard, and I call it dropping the anchor, like where you just grab it and modulation or feathering is when you lightly squeeze until you feel the pads contact, and then you can kind of like pulse from there. So what I always like to do is I listen to hear if I'm losing traction. If you start hearing it skidding, you just like kind of let off a little bit. Maybe you change, like if the rear is starting to skid, you add a little bit on the front, you let off on the rear a little bit, and you kind of just play with that until you hear your tires start to make a noise. Now that we kind of ran through braking theory really quick, we're gonna do a little drill, kind of a practice drill. And so we're gonna find a hill that's a little bit steeper and it has a good run out so that you can like kind of roll through if you have to. April's gonna roll down the hill with just using the rear brake one time. We're gonna time her, show how slow she can go without skidding or coming to a stop. And then we're gonna have her do front and rear brake, kind of get that to click in your head how much power comes from the front brake, and you learn how to modulate them. So let's go ahead. We're gonna head over to a hill. We're gonna do some drills and see if she can master this.
All right.
All right. So I'll do a run really quick, show you guys what that looks like, and then April's gonna try to do this a few times. So that was rear brake only, and then this one I'm gonna do both brakes so you can see what that looks like. So see how much more controlled it is with both brakes? I see a lot of people that'll be scared to use their front brake, and so the goal of this drill is kind of help you realize how much power you have in the front and get comfortable using that. All right, attempt number 1.
I wanted to brake before.
Try to keep your heels down. So good braking position. Sweet, good job.
Thanks.
On the left side, you can see that her front heel is up slightly. This actually makes her go forward on the bike, further away from the rear axle, and it decreases the traction she's getting on the rear wheel, which gives her that time of 1.02. On the right, you can see her front heel is dropped. She has more weight over the rear tire, has better traction, and does a 1.24.
On this attempt, she's gonna show you guys rear brake only and kind of not the best braking position. She'll probably end up skidding quite a bit. All right, so how did it feel going from bad posture, heel up, to good posture?
In the bad posture, immediately skidded, and I felt very weak on the front end. And then the good posture felt very in control, strong, grounded.
Yeah, and you can kind of get that, instead of dropping the anchor and skidding, it feels like you can kind of like modulate and build pressure, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on this one, you're gonna do front and rear brake, and then we're gonna show them how much slower you can go using both brakes.
Okay.
Do you feel a difference?
Yeah.
Your front brake is gonna be 80 to 85% of your stopping power on a steeper downhill like this, because your weight's shifting forward onto that contact patch where the tire is. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do on the rock roll when we hit that.
Okay.
It's front and rear brake, good posture, and you'll control it so well. Like, you did that perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're totally ready for the rock roll. The reason that we wanted to practice this drill beforehand is because on those kind of steeper rock rolls, you can really listen and hear your tires slipping, and you can adjust your braking like by modulating or feathering it. And so now that you know, like, heels down, front and rear brake at the same time, I think she's gonna do a really good job of rolling down it without skidding. And if you start skidding on a rock roll, a lot of times it's hard to get back in control. So I just wanted to make sure you were in a good spot and like understanding it. So yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go do the rock roll. Let's go. Have you ever done anything like this?
No.
No. Have you seen people do it and wanted to do it?
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really a basic maneuver if you know how to control your brakes, but it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have her go over to a really small roll, and she's gonna get to like practice that a little bit. We'll walk her through it, and then if she feels like it, then you can hit this thing.
All right.
All right, you wanna go do a small one?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll coach her through this rock roll until she feels confident, and if she wants to, she can hit that big one later. So it has a lot of traction, so you can just cruise super slow. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like if you have bad braking position and just use the rear brake a lot, and how much faster it is. So see how much sketchier that looks?
Yeah.
Could you tell a difference there?
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, it's way sketchier if you just use your rear brake down rock rolls like this, because you start picking up a ton of speed. From the drill that we practiced earlier, when she's able to use both her brakes and modulate, kind of listen, you want to hear and kind of listen for that like. If you start to hear your rear tire doing that, then you're going to add a little bit of front brake, let off the rear a little bit, and just kind of modulate your way down. And you can go as slow as you want down this, so it looks really scary, but you have so much traction, so you'll be good.
All right.
Ready when you are. Just nice and even braking, nice braking position, heels drop. That was good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was really good. Try doing the same thing, a little bit more front brake.
Okay.
But that was like perfect position and everything. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay, you ready? Think about front brake. More front brake. There you go. Sweet. That was good.
I'll try again. I think I was maybe going too fast.
I think you're doing good. It's just, it's hard to understand like how much you can actually use the front brake, but that was really good.
I don't like when it squeaks.
I know, it's
feel like I'm
okay.
doing something wrong.
No, you're good. It's just cold.
Yeah.
All right, on this one, try to go as slow as you can. So just nice and controlled. There you go. There you go. You feel that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Do you feel how much traction you have there?
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Did you feel like something kind of clicked there, or did you just kind of start feeling more comfortable?
Just feeling more comfortable using the front brake harder,
Uh-huh.
more and more. Like, and I kind of felt like I was testing the rear brake a little bit. Still using it, but definitely it was more with the front brake.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we'll just do a couple more, and then whenever you feel comfortable, maybe we can kind of work our way up to that big one. Because
Okay.
that speed that you went is how fast you can go on the big one too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really mellow.
Okay, cool.
After a few more practice runs, April wanted to see what it looked like to hit the main rock roll.
Yep.
How'd that look?
I think I can do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to like pace you or lead you or anything, or?
I think I can do it on my own.
Okay. All right, sweet. Yeah, no worries. I guess I'll just film you then.
All right.
You can do it. And whenever you're ready. Nice and relaxed. Yeah! Good job! Yes! Good job.
Thank you.
That was sick.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah, super easy, huh?
Uh-huh.
You'd never, like, it looked perfect. I was like, oh, okay. Sweet. Do you mind if I follow you
Sure.
on GoPro?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Woo! Good job. That was awesome. All right, you did so good today.
Thank you.
So for those of you guys that were wondering, this was, you know, her first time hitting this rock roll, even though it looked like she was a champ on it. And the biggest thing with rock rolls and things like this is just maintaining your traction. And so that's kind of the key, is learning how to maintain your traction, how to modulate your brakes. And yeah, you did a great job. So what were the biggest takeaways you had from today?
Basically, equal braking, and if I felt like I was skidding, I just stayed calm and used my front brake more, and it never felt like I was gonna go over the bars.
Cool. Yeah, because you had that good braking position.
Yeah, it felt traction the whole time.
Sweet. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast doing these videos, and April's been learning so much, and it's been really cool just for me to watch her progress too. We're going to do jumping or cornering next. We're not sure which one. So if you have a vote, either jumping or cornering, put it in the comment section, and whichever one gets more votes, that'll be our next video. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing and everything. And hopefully we will keep doing more of these. And yeah, you guys rock.
Yeah, thank you.
See you guys later.